funky pajamas.
Hi, we are live. Hello, Facebook, YouTube, everybody out there. We're live. Detroit Press Play. It's the IVA and always Lisa G in the building. It's cold out there, so we ain't in the building. Let's stop lying. We all streaming.
Okay, I know that's right.
How was your day today?
My day was my day.
I don't
I
know
went
why
to
I asked
work.
you that. I don't know
I
why
went
I
to
asked you
work.
that.
I'm gonna stop saying that because I don't want it to appear that I'm ungrateful. So I had a job to go to today, and I'm thankful for that. And God gave me the ability to be able to get up and go to that job, and I got there safely, and I made it home safely.
That's right. That's right. Ain't nothing wrong with it. Ain't
Okay.
nothing wrong with it. Hello, everyone. Listen, so today, I thought I'd surprise you. It's
Okay.
all about you.
I
I know when you
know,
see
shit.
the flyer. I know when you see the flyer, like, wait a minute, hold on.
I was
But
like,
I, yeah, I thought, we sit up and we celebrate other people. We invite other people, and that's all good. But you have something to share with the world, and I am so blessed to be able to call you family.
what? Oh,
I'm blessed to be able to call you a co-host. And me knowing some of the things that you've been through, I thought there's someone out there that probably gave up, wants to give up, and don't know how to fill the void of what they want. Like go back to whatever it is they dropped off doing. I can't tell you how many times I talked about going back to school, getting a degree, and I remember telling people once I got like 40 or so, like I'm too old for this. I don't feel like this because after work sometimes that brain just freeze on you.
mm,
I think
it
I hit a
does.
nerve. It does, really. And
It
depending
does.
on all the things, when you think about, I got to go home, I got to look at the bill, see who need to be paid, I got to do this. It's a lot, you know. But I decided to go back too, but I didn't go as far as you did. So again, and I just want to encourage whoever is out there, you can do it. You can do it. Here's proof right
Absolutely.
here. And
Absolutely.
I wanted to interview my own co-host. I thought it was important. And again, I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I love to see
Thank you,
people
bud.
excel.
Thank you.
Yes. So you've had a journey with, and first of all, what do you want to say to your viewers? Do you want to give anybody a shout out? And I want to shout out my mom. She's watching.
Hey, Auntie.
Yes.
I
Anybody
just
else who's watching?
I want to give a shout out to everybody on my page, all my friends, the ones that were able to log in, the ones that will log in, and those that will catch the show later. I want to give a shout out to all of them and to all of our viewers. And I just want to thank you for the opportunity. I never thought about using the platform to, because I don't talk about myself a lot. Okay, I'm like, what's she doing? Okay,
Yes.
but I get it and I appreciate it because I'm not. It's not often that I am celebrated outside of my birthday. You know what I mean? So I'm very appreciative and I thank you for the opportunity to be able to, use the platform to tell a little bit about myself and my journey.
Okay. Well, great. I hope we got people viewing and tuning in because, again, everyone has been through something where they just gave up or quit. But you are so strong in what you've been through and to get from there to here with a master's degree. That says a lot. Says a lot about your character. So, first of all, let them know what you have your master's in.
Okay, well, I got my master's in social work and I have a certification in child and family therapy.
Okay, what made you want to get into that?
wanted to get, you know what? I've been doing it for years, and I never really even knew that this is what I was doing. Um, but I think that it's because I want to have a deeper, I always wanted to have a deeper understanding of people, why we behave the way that we behave, what causes us to do the things that we do. How can we channel, ourselves and our behaviors in other ways in order to make it a positive outcome as opposed to a negative outcome. I've just always been intrigued by science, and even though I was not good at science, y'all, oh my God. But um I was always intrigued by that. I did want to go to school to be a nurse when I was younger, but at the time I couldn't, because they want nurses to, like, you got to stop your life pretty much. I don't know
Oh
about
yeah.
now, but back then you couldn't work. You had to live with mom and them. I'm like, oh no, I ain't going back home now.
Yeah, it was a
it
lot. It was
was
a lot
it
involved.
was a lot. They wanted you to quit your job and all of that. So, but I was always intrigued with the science of it. And then
Okay.
coming up as a child and having behavioral issues myself, um, and just starting to rebel, and I was a high school dropout when I was younger. Um, I dropped out. I think I dropped out in like the 11th grade. But here's the thing: people look at high school dropouts and they think, oh, I wasn't that. I don't know what they thought I was, but I was a high school dropout that dropped out because school was boring to me. I was in class and doing what I had to do. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I'm not trying to be funny, but I would skip for like 3, 4 days, come back, I still gotta be, just
So
saying,
you like, I don't have to do much effort.
Okay, I never had to really, school was always, I love to learn. That's my hustle. I was trying to sit and figure out, um, what it is that I could do to make it. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here that know how to sell stuff. You got people out here that know how to, they down with the internet. They graphics designers. I don't know that I can't do that, but that's just not something that I am interested in. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think, and plus, I'm not a salesperson. So you have to really like sell yourself. You know what I
That's
mean?
right.
Do certain things. Education was always my thing. I always wanted the facts, knowledge, being able, I want to know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to
Yeah.
just say stuff. I want to know what it is.
A lot of people just
And
say stuff.
yeah, people do. Yeah. And we just say, just right on, open up our mouth and just let it on out, right?
Just let it out. Mm.
Okay. I wasn't that person. I wanted to know, what I was talking about. And then, being in 11th grade, I dropped out when I found out I was pregnant. I was going to the 12th when I found out I was pregnant, but I had to drop out. And I was missing some credits, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't know if I was going to come out on time or not anyway, but I knew that there was, substance in my grades. So I didn't think that I was just a complete dropout like that. You know what I mean?
So I want to ask you something. You said you knew you had to drop out, but what made you feel like because you were pregnant, you had to drop out?
I had to drop out because I had other things going on in my life at that particular time. Some things that I don't want to disclose.
Okay.
But I went through a rebellious stage at that time
Okay.
for the reasons that I went through it. And I kind of touched base on it before when we spoke, the conditions that I was living in my household.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oh, that's right. Yep. And we don't have to go there.
yeah, it was just, I didn't have that motivation. I didn't have that drive. I didn't have somebody pushing me, telling me, "Oh, it's gonna be okay. You got pregnant, but dang, it's not all bad."
Not the end
At
of the
that
world.
time, getting pregnant when you are 16, people was really just like clowning. Some of our friends was clown. Y'all was clowns. Okay,
Made you
they was
feel some kind
clowns.
of way.
Yeah, making you feel some type of way. And then not only that, but I was in the system. So when I got pregnant, right after I dropped out, as a matter of fact, when I found out I was pregnant, I was in the system.
Okay.
So yeah, it was shortly after, I got in the system that I found out that I was pregnant. And
Okay.
so, it was, girl, it was a lot.
Okay. Okay.
It was a lot.
So let me ask you this. At what point did you say, you know what? I'm gonna go back to school because I really want to go to school. And I know, like, for me, I tried the college thing, but the world took me away from it. That's what I'm gonna say. The world. You start dating, and he's taking care of you, so you feel like you don't need anything at that moment. But at some point in our lives, we got to get back to us, right? What is it that I really want? Do I just want to be out here dependent on somebody, or do I want a career? At what stage in your life did you say, I'm going to go back to school? College.
When I found out that, well, in order to get to college, you got to finish high school first, right?
That's right. That's
Well,
right.
so when I had my daughter, my oldest daughter, is when I decided, okay, I can't be out here and not know stuff and have my kid asking me to help her with her homework and I can't help her. And
Wow.
so I went back to school for her. And when I went back to school for her, I decided, you know what? I'm gonna just keep going, because if I don't keep going, then I'm gonna fall off again. I was always worried about that fall off because I'm a procrastinator by nature, like for
Ooh,
real.
ooh, that
And
should be my middle
listen,
name.
yes, and to procrastinate for me, it might not never get done. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? When I got out of school with her, I went to alternative school with her. And when
Okay.
I got out of school with her, I ended up going to college. Like I got a job and all of that. And maybe like a couple of years later, I ended up going to college to get my first degree. And so it just so happens that with each child that I had, I went back to school because that was something. It started as a thing with my oldest daughter, but I wanted every child to know that I was going through a different experience. And so with my middle child, I went back for um my I think I started I was yeah. So I was in college when I had her. So between the oldest, and they're only 5 years apart. So within that 5 years that I got my diploma, worked, got myself together, by the time she was being born is when I went back to school. And I was like, I got to be able to help both of them because it was only 5 years apart, be able to help both of them. And then when I had my son, which was just 12 years ago, I decided, okay, and I had him late. So I was
Yes.
42 when I had him.
Yes, and that shocked the mess out of me. I thought it was a joke, but
Girl,
we'll
me
talk about
too.
that some other time. I was like, what? She what?
Me too.
But
I thought it
what
was
was
a
she?
joke too. What?
I was like, what? She having a baby? Who do that?
Okay, I'm 42. Oh my God.
Right,
I had
right.
the girl. That's when I had my little cougar card. I gave it back.
You got a gift from that cougar card, girl.
I You can have it.
Wait a minute. Then when I first met the baby, I'm like, she really do that. Oh my
A
God. Well,
baby. What?
so,
The girls is
and
grown.
if anyone is viewing and they have a question, we want you guys to put it in the chat. We will participate right with you. We love the fact that people are viewing. Um, so just any comments, post them in the chat. We'll be happy to address them.
Bring it on,
Um,
y'all. I'm ready.
yeah, she ready. She stay ready. But
Okay.
so let's go back. So now, by the time you had the young one, where were you at as far as college?
When I had him, I had well, see, there were other things that were in between. So it's not just college. It was other. I got my grant writing certificate. Remember
Yes,
that?
we did.
Yeah, I
Yes, we
know. We
did.
went to school together for that.
Yes,
I
she
ended
is
up,
also a grant writer.
yes,
Just so I can let the viewers know, her and I and another one of our friends, we went to college, Mary
Mary
Grove College,
Grove.
and got
Yep,
our grant
Mary
writing
Grove.
done.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. So I have that. And then I did EMT school. I went to EMT school.
Okay.
I got my cert in it, but I didn't go to nationals, to get the actual certification in the
Mhm.
EMT, but I did pass, like, the certification.
Okay.
Um, and then I did dental. Um, Girl, yes, okay. I'm gonna bring you back to life. Clean your teeth.
So, so I don't feel bad about all the
Okay,
things I schooled
listen,
for. I was a
listen.
professional schooler.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I am a professional schooler. I mean, because I love to learn, and anything that I'm interested in, I'm going to school. You gonna, girl, you gonna look up and be like, she a mortician?
Listen,
Okay,
I wanted to go and be one,
a
but I looked at
mortician.
how long, yes, I
Oh
looked at
my god.
how long that process was, and my brain don't do like it used to. I
I
don't
think
have that patience.
I think I would have PTSD trying to be a mortician. What was that?
Yes,
Okay. No, I can't do it.
yes.
Yeah. So it was a
So,
lot of things in between that, with me with education. So by the time he was born, I had the EMT, I had the grant writers, I had the associates, I had, every all of those when I had him. And
yes, yes.
so with him, I went back and got my bachelor's and my master's.
Okay. But in between, so I want to, we told the audience, we're going to talk about your journey because you've been through a lot, you know, to, to get where you are today. And I'm going to keep saying it over and over so people understand. You can overcome anything. You can, along your journey,
Okay.
there were some things that kind of happened. And I don't know which one. I can't remember which one first, but I know that you suffered a great loss while going back to school. And I just want to
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit, not bring up the sadness, but maybe let's think about the good memories while we discuss it. And it was during COVID. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't in school at that time though.
Okay.
Um, I had I had already made the decision that I was gonna go back. I just didn't know when. And it was a lot of uncertainties. Again, procrastination played a part. And then COVID hit. And COVID was like, it really had an effect on some people. I was one of the people that it had an effect. I was over here, I was nervous. I was paranoid. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know what I could
Mental
touch,
health.
what I couldn't touch, So that was really a hard time. And then to see all of the people. Now, this is the thing. Um, I lost my father to COVID, but at the time they didn't know that it was COVID. So he went to the hospital with, and I can't really even say exactly what he went to the hospital for because I wasn't there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I really don't even know how long my dad was in the hospital, to be truthfully honest, because somebody else was doing other things behind the scenes, and that was a whole situation. But needless to say, I lost my father to COVID, and it was a really hard. I went through it at that time. I went through it. My dad was my whole life. He was. We were just alike. I was born the day before him, and I'm the girl him. Like for real, I'm the female him.
Yes.
And to lose such a powerful part and a powerful piece, no matter how, you what type of relationship you have with them or not, it's still the glue, you know what I mean, of the
Mm-hmm.
family. And you know you are going to have feelings for that person. That was my dad, you know what I'm saying. My dad always
Yes.
been in my life. There was never a question. He knew, you know what I'm saying. I was his. He loved me. He had my life planned out for me. I didn't,
Mm-hmm.
do what he wanted me to do, but
We
nevertheless.
don't. We don't ever. We don't ever do it.
I know, right?
uh,
But it
it's.
was a very trying time. It was a very trying. Before my dad died, like I was just coming off of chemo and radiation.
That's what I was
So
asking. Which one came first?
yeah,
So.
cancer came first. My cancer diagnosis came before I lost my dad.
So let me ask you this: how did you know that? How, did you just randomly go to the doctor and get checked? The mammogram, or were you feeling something? What led you to even go find out that's what you had?
Well, I will always do self breast exam. And I never knew, like, because I even remember asking the doctor a couple of times, like, okay, we already have, like, women have lumpy breasts because you have milk ducts, and, milk ducts.
Yep, milk duds too.
Yeah, okay. But you have that, you know what I'm saying? And
Uh-huh.
I would always do my breast exams, and I always wondered, like, what is it going to feel like if I, do, what does a lump feel like? Because I feel several of them,
Yeah, right,
And
right.
so she was like, if you had breast cancer, you would know what it feels like. And so, I didn't do them often, but I did them often enough to become familiar with my breast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so I had just come back from watching a game or watching a fight at Chevy's house. As a matter of fact, I came back home and I was
Uh-huh.
getting ready for bed, and I said, "Well, let me go on and examine myself." And I did the exam, and I felt a lump, and I was like, "Okay, let me try it all over again," you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it over again, and it was still there. Like it wasn't moving, or it was like a real, like a lump.
Mm-hmm.
And my heart started. I just didn't. Oh my God, I did not know what to do. I had
Yeah.
started with the post office, and at the time that I started, they somebody gave me bold information about insurance and how to get your benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So when I went to find out about my insurance, I didn't have any.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I didn't
So.
have any. And I just knew, I knew it was cancer. I just knew it.
But you know what? I'm sorry. I want to say this. I did a breast examination as well, right? And I felt, like a lump. I'm like, oh my God. I wonder, this is on the subject, but why do we automatically feel like it's cancer? Because I just done gave myself the whole stages and all, and thankfully mine wasn't. But I wonder, was it something else going on with you to where you said, "Oh, this is cancer," or it's just because?
No, and that's the thing. I like breast cancer didn't run on either side of my family.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking to myself like, okay, maybe it's not. But then I thought to myself, because cancer does run in my family, just not breast cancer. I'm like, okay, you know what? I just know it. I just got that. I know it. I just knew it. And I had a
Mm.
dream. This is the killing part about it. Oh my God. I don't even want to tell people this, but it's the truth. I had a dream about the lump a week before I found it.
Mm.
A week before I found it, I had a dream about the lump. So when I found it, I just knew. But I went through emergency because I figured, like, when you're in that type of situation, you don't really know.
And you want to
You
know
know,
now.
yeah, you don't know what to do. You don't, and it was a weekend. And so
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I called my girl, my best friend. What up, Day? World famous Day. Um, I called her and I told her, I said, it's a lump. I got a lump on my breast. And she was like, okay, you sure? And I'm like, yeah, we went through the whole self check type, you know what I'm saying? Check off the
Right.
list. Like, but when I went to the doctor, I told the doctor, the ER doctor, I said, I found a lump on my breast and I have cancer. And he said, how do you know it's cancer? I told him, I just know. And so, you know, there wasn't much that he could do. He felt the lump, but it wasn't nothing that he could do because he's not about to test it and all that. Now you got to go see your primary and blah blah
Yeah.
blah.
Still ain't gonna tell you nothing.
And I told him, I said, I don't even have insurance. And I
Mm.
cried like a baby because I was like, I can't do. There's nothing that I can do. I know I'm not gonna get the treatment that I need if I don't have insurance, and I don't have the money right now to do it. And I worked every single day, okay, and could not afford it. And he told me about a program called BCCP. It's the breast and cervical cancer.
Can
Um,
you say it again?
it's called B like Bravo, C like Charlie, C like Charlie, P like Peter.
Okay.
It's the breast and cervical cancer something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when I say they took care of everything, they took care of it. They was like, look, we're gonna make your appointment. You come down here, you get this paperwork, we're gonna get you some insurance through the state. It wasn't social service type insurance, it was state insurance, but it didn't come through social services. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. Okay.
And baby, when I say it went quick, they was like, okay, we're gonna call you in, we're gonna have a doctor examine you. The doctor examined me, did the little scan thing, the ultrasound,
Mm-hmm.
and when the lady called, I'm having a scan done, right?
Uh-huh.
Why the nurse called a doctor in?
Mm. And that
I'm
scared the
like,
mess out of you.
okay. I'm like, oh, dog. But come to find out, it was one of the worst cancers, one of the most aggressive cancers that Black women can have. I don't want to say the name right now because I don't know the name of it, but I know it's triple negative. And I thought triple negative was positive. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, that's a
Yeah.
good thing. It's triple negative. They were like, oh no, that's the worst kind that you could have.
Oh
But it
my
was only
God.
stage one. So I'm thankful for that.
Okay.
I wanted to make sure, I was hoping that it didn't hit, any lymph nodes. They took my lymph nodes. I had to get the cancer cut out of my breast.
Mm-hmm.
I had to have a port up under my skin so that they could, get in and do the chemo.
Yes.
I had like 23 rounds of chemo and like
How was your
almost an
support system?
equal. Say it again.
How was your support system?
My support system was there. but it was my kids. And when people don't know, you don't know how to prepare for that. My
Yeah.
kids had never had to, take care of me before. I was always the one taking care of them. And so having them in the house, and now, it's a fight about, oh, I fed her last time, I cooked last time, and it was just like I prayed, oh my God, I prayed frequently, like, Lord, please let me make it out of this.
Yeah.
I don't ever want to have my kids take care of me. I don't want them to take care of me. Okay.
They did it though. They did it.
No.
Shout
No,
out
but
to
they
them.
did a good job. They did
Yes.
a good job on short notice for what they knew, how to do.
Yes.
Um, and they took care of their brother. They took care of my little man because he was only like five
Okay.
or something like that when I had it.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, so it was a lot. It was really a lot. I was still working though during the time I had chemo. I was
Mm.
still working. And I listen, I was drained, but
I
I was
know it.
still working.
Good. That's good.
I
So
was.
now, so now you're out of all of this. You survived, thank God, because
I
you
rang the
wanted to be
bell. Ding,
here.
ding, 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 ding.
You rung the bell.
I
And
did.
so, was that one of the reasons you said, look, I got to go back? I got to get it right because I want to get back to your journey for that degree. So, right now, we have death has taken place. You've been through quite a bit. You've survived breast cancer. I'm so thankful. You've had a baby at a young age and at an older age. So the odds were stacked against you anyway as a
Yep.
black woman.
I was every statistic that there
Every
could be.
statistic, you hit every one of
Yes.
them,
I hit
except
every
for,
last one of them.
you weren't
Yep.
on drugs or anything like that. But
No, no, I wasn't never on drugs, but
yeah, so um, you hit all the rest of them though, just about.
I did.
And so now let's get to where you said, you know what? I'm going back to school.
So after my dad passed, I had already been teetering with whether I wanted to go back or not. And I was talking to my cousin, shout out to my cousin John. Um, he was my inspiration because I was telling my cousin, like, cuz I don't feel fulfilled. Like, I just don't know what I want to be when I grow up. Like, literally, that's what I told him. Like, I don't know what I want to be when I grow up, and I'm already grown up.
Right.
And so he was asking me, like, well, cuz, what is it that you want to do? I told him I want to help people. That's what I want to do. I want to help people. And I got a customer service job because I felt like that was me helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me, he said, well, you can help people in other ways. Customer service is one way, but it's several other ways that you can actually help people. So I was like, okay, cuz, well, I don't know what to do. So he had me I was telling him because I was disgusted with my job, and he had me take this aptitude test. And I took the aptitude test. You can go online and get a free aptitude test that tells you what career would be best for you. Okay.
Wow.
And if you're completely honest with yourself, you answer the questions exactly like they are posed, be honest with yourself, and then it takes all of the information and it tells you where you will be, best fitted at what position would be best suited for you. And so when I took mine, social work was it. And I never thought about I love social work. Like I love it. Okay. I
Mm-hmm.
love talking to people. I love helping people. I love being a resource. If I can help you, if I can give you information, you know what I'm saying? I like that type of stuff. And I like helping people navigate through things because I didn't have anybody to help me navigate, through my issues. I was the youngest of three. my sister and brother were teens, and
Yes,
I
they
was home
were.
by myself. You know what I mean? So I didn't have, I couldn't do nothing. My mom was very strict, and I was just like, I need to find out what I want to do in life. And I always wanted to talk to people. It was one of my friends, shout out to Sean Giles. My boy told me, he said, that I can see you being a social worker. You don't remember you used to walk around with that notebook in your hand all the time? I did, and I didn't realize it. I used to walk around with a spiral notebook and a pen, and I would sit and I would write all the time. And I would write people's behavior. They didn't know what I was writing, but I would be like, and asking questions like, why she just do that? Why he just do that? What do I think about it? You know what I'm saying? And I would actually help people navigate through their problems. And I was writing it down, acting like, I had a little couch and all. And people have always gravitated to me with their business. I don't know why. People love to tell me their personal business. I don't tell it, but I don't be wanting to hear that all the time.
But that's your profession now. That's your
Okay, right.
profession now.
I used to be like, why you telling me this?
So I'm about to ask you something that I struggled with.
Right.
So I went back later in life because I was in leadership, right? And
Okay.
they cap your salary if you're in a certain position if you don't go back and get those degrees, where I worked at. And so all I was thinking is, y'all wait to tell me this when I'm in my late 40s, early
Okay.
50s. And I had to really battle with it because sometimes when you're already making the money, at least you feel like it, right? I didn't know there was more to it. I didn't even know that, hey, I probably was capped too. But
Right.
I went back to school thinking, oh my God, I am just too old. And I went online. So it's a disciplinary thing. You got to be really disciplined to go online. I don't know if you went online or did you go in person?
I went online, and let me tell you, you know, people can be something else, because I don't know what it is that make people think that online is just like the cheap Temu version of something. Because I've had people, yeah, I've had people like, oh, she went online, oh, she went to Walden,
It's not
you know.
easy. It's not
Listen, I don't
easy.
care if you go to Wayne State or Walden. I got my degree is the same as yours. We both gonna be looking for a job, and one of us gonna get hired. Okay, they not gonna
That's
hire
right.
you because you went to Wayne State, Central State, CMU. They gonna hire you because you fit for the position. Okay, you fit the
That's right.
requirements for the position. And online is very disciplined because you are teaching yourself
Self.
basically. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
You don't
And when
have
they
an
start
instructor.
testing you, like, skills lab, we had a whole skills lab. And skills lab is like, okay, you've been here for this many weeks. You halfway there. What have you learned? We want to know what you learned. We want to talk about it. You got to be able to use the terminologies. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really know the theories. You have to know all of that. You know what I'm saying? Or have
Yeah.
some inclination of it to be able to explain it back and know exactly what it means when it
Yeah.
comes to social work.
And there's
So
nobody in
yeah.
front of you. There's nobody in front of you saying do this. You can't ask. You can ask questions. They might answer you what 24, 48 hours.
Okay.
By then your project due.
Exactly.
So I was like, wait a minute, I had this question the other day. Now I gotta take a seat.
Right.
I
Okay.
you know, it's not easy. So I don't care what people say. That online is not easy.
It's
And
not.
then you're
I
missing out on everything. I felt like I was missing out on everything.
I
Uh,
did. And I loved it. I'm gonna tell you why. Because it showed me how focused I really was. When people would be like, "Oh, well, why don't you come? We get ready to," and I'm like, "I've been in the house for 3 weeks. Let me go." No, I'm good because I got homework tonight. You know what I'm saying? I made sure that I didn't listen. I didn't date. I didn't try to date. People were calling me like, "You want to go out?" Nope. Today
No.
is what day is it? Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. You could not get in
That's
touch
right.
with me.
That's
Okay?
right. That's right.
No,
It's
I'm gonna do my homework. This is a serious thing. They charging me all this damn money.
now I'm in debt, but I got a piece of paper.
I'm not messing it up. Okay, I'm not messing this up. Okay, at all.
yes. So here we are. We again. I have to keep going back because you've been through everything. Everything there is to go through. You've been through it, right? And so now here this paper. It looks like it's hard to grab, but you get ready to get it. And I would ask you, what's the plan now? Since you do have it, what's your plans now?
The first thing that see, like I said, I told you I love education, right?
Hmm. Don't
And
go back.
so you said what?
You about to go back?
I'm thinking about it.
Really?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
thinking about it.
There you
I'm
go, girl.
I'm going to go back. I don't know if I'm going to go back right now or if I'm going to. It won't be any more than 2 years from now. I don't even think it'll be that long, to be truthfully honest.
You can't because your mind have to stay
My
fresh.
mind is, and I feel right now that now that I'm out of class, I'm relieved. I get to breathe. I get to, get my mind just out of that mentality. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
in the same token, I'm not done. This is God bringing me to fruition. So, had I followed the route that I was supposed to follow back then, I
Yeah.
would have been very well established right now in
Yeah.
my life. And that's just being honest. I would have been had my doctorate degree. I probably ain't no telling where they probably be Maya Angelou probably would. I don't know, Dr. Maya Angelou. I love her, but I'm just saying I might have been, eating dinner with her. Okay, for
She
real,
is she
because
still living?
no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no, she passed years ago.
I was getting ready to say I thought she passed. You talking about
Yeah,
eating
she
dinner with her?
did.
Yeah, you.
But like her legacy, I would have had all of that. My legacy would
Yes.
have been, together. I just feel like it would have been. And
Yeah.
now, like when I went to school, my ultimate goal was to get my master's, but I only had my associates. So that means at some point I had to get that bachelor's. And as I was going through the process of getting the bachelor's, I was eager to get it, but not because of the accomplishment, only because I wanted to start my master's. I wanted to
Yeah,
be
you have to
right
have
there.
it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so when I finally completed the bachelor's, I couldn't believe it. Like I graduated with both of my degrees in uh 36 months. So I got them back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Um and in order to do that, you have to maintain a certain grade point average. My grade point average had to be 3.0. It could not slip past a 3.0. I couldn't get any C's. I could get one, and that was it. And um, you had to have your assignments in. It was just it was so many demands. And I'm
It
a
was.
full-time mom, a full-time employee. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I say the candle was burning from both ends of the wick, the
Mm-hmm.
candle was burning on both ends. But once I got it, it was so refreshing, and just to know that I have it now. My ultimate goal is to get into my field. Like I said, I do it every day anyway, but I
Yeah.
want to get into the clinical aspect because I want to go back and get my license. So I
Okay.
have a limited license right now,
Okay.
and I have to have that for. I think I can have that up to 6 years, but I only have to have like 2 years worth of credit
Okay.
working under my master's in order for me to take my clinician license.
So
So
let
that's
me
what
ask
I'm
you
going for.
this. Let me ask you, does the job that you do now, does that count towards that?
No,
You would think so. You
no,
would
it
think
does
so.
not. They have reduced. I work for. I hate telling people, but I work for DHS. And they have reduced that particular position down to me to an entry level position. Why they're asking for an associate's degree, I feel like anybody who has a degree that works in that position should be paid way more than what they're paid.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Because that job is very, very stressful, and they can't keep anybody. And if you if you had good benefits, you could keep somebody, but you can't have good benefits and a whole bunch of work. Where people, you know what I'm saying. So you even it
Oh
out, you
yeah.
balance it out with more pay.
And people are not the same. Everybody's so demanding. Everybody's stuff is urgent right now.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I refuse, and that's what I'm, going through now because now I'm applying for jobs. And you wouldn't believe how
Listen.
some of these positions are trying to pay. And I'm like, no,
For someone with a degree.
okay, I'm
Okay.
not, I'm not trying to work for what I'm making.
And
They want to pay
everybody.
me less than what I'm making right now. That's
I
what,
wouldn't take it.
some of
Don't
these
take
some
it.
of these different organizations. And I understand that they are funded. So it's by federal, funded by the federal government. It will probably be more if certain administrations, cared about the people who need that, funding. But nevertheless, I can't I have to be able to live.
That's what I'm saying. Everybody deserve a raise right about now. And
Every
I say
minimum
that
wage,
because
in my opinion, minimum wage,
should be about
minimum
17, 18 to start. At
I think it
least.
should be higher than that. I think
It
minimum
should.
wage should be $20.
It should,
Minimum.
but yeah, everybody deserve a raise. It's
Yeah,
horrible out
minimum
here.
wage should be $20, especially with the
They
way
get a
that
pack of
groceries.
hamburger for this size right
Oh,
here. Girl,
girl,
I'm
everything
hungry.
getting smaller.
And I'll be
Yes.
hungry.
Okay.
I
I'm
can't even
like,
share my pack of
why the
hamburgers.
potatoes so little?
It's too little. Like, go on, what you staring at?
All right. Okay. I don't get 6 potato skins no more. I only get 4. Okay.
You know,
And they smaller. Okay.
sometimes I wonder if eating at a restaurant is cheaper. I don't know because by the time you buy all your stuff that go in whatever you're making, you'll
If you're
spend a
by
hundred
yourself,
dollars.
if you're by yourself, it's probably cheaper. But then, and it's way off the subject, but why is why is healthy food so much more expensive than the stuff?
And then they wonder why everybody got diabetes. Okay, I'm
Yes, I
just
know
saying.
that. Yes, I have high cholesterol. Yes.
Yes, yes.
Oh
Yes, I'm about to have a stroke.
no, I
Yes.
can get a 4 for 4.
And now you only get three for
Okay.
four.
Okay, with a regular drink.
Yeah, but girl, they used to biggie me. They used to
Girl.
give me big
Okay.
thirsty cup.
Oh
I'm
my
just saying.
goodness.
So minimum wage should be a lot higher. You go to
It should be
school,
a lot higher. $20. $20 an
yes,
hour minimum
even
wage.
entry level, even
Yes.
entry level. So
Yes.
sometimes have you ever set up and said, okay, now, I stopped at the bachelor's degree, right? And so when I got it, yes, I did get more money. But at the same time, I'm like, it's still to me not equivalent to what's going on out here. And it's not equivalent for all the schooling and all the loans. And, thankfully I got scholarships, but I still owe a little bit something. But do you ever sit back and wonder, like, I hope I'm not doing this in vain?
I have thought about it. I have. I have thought that, but then, like I said, with my story, I know that it's like a 360. Like
Mm-hmm.
when I was going to school when I had my daughter, I went to an alternative school
Mm-hmm.
and I took the SATs and I scored the highest out of the entire school. So I had a scholarship for Central Michigan University, and they were going to pay for me my education and my apartment and
Mm.
childcare for my daughter because they
Okay.
wanted me there. but
Mm.
her father died. He was killed, and I gave up.
Mm.
So the scholarship ended up. So that's why I say if I had a did what I was supposed to do back then, because back then I was 17 with a kid, and Central Michigan University wanted me to come there and be, you know what I'm saying, a part, and they were going to take care of everything. So
Yeah.
I know I would have been a lot further
Yeah.
than, you know, I ended up being.
I'm glad
So
you don't dwell on it because you
no,
wouldn't
I
be
don't.
here
I used
today.
to. I used to dwell on it because it was like we're always our worst critic.
Of
So
course.
I
Of
always
course.
thought about it like, dang.
I should have.
But,
I should have.
you know,
Because I was in the REM program. It's so
okay.
crazy. Back in, well, y'all already know I'm in the 50s group. But back then, I got straight out of high school. Sometimes it's not good to rush straight out of high school. That's why when I hear parents, oh, they going to school. No, you might want to let them make their own decision because you can force somebody and they're not ready. Some people need a break after high school. Me, I went straight in, and you could take a test back then and you didn't have to go through the LPN program. You can go straight through the RN if you scored a 80% or more, 75% or more. I got a 92, went right into the RN program. First relationship, nope, I'm done. I'm done. But I wasn't ready in the first place. I should have sat and thought about it just a little bit. But we do those things, and then here I go going back at my age.
Hey, it's people
It's
that's
never too
80.
late.
It's people that's 80 and 80 years. I know a lady, she was in her 80s and went back to school and got
Okay.
her associate's degree. Okay?
Yeah. Yeah. And
She
there's nothing wrong
absolutely
with it.
did.
Yeah. Some people go back not just for, not for career purposes, right? It was something they wanted to fulfill. So that was part for me too. It was something I always said I was going to go back to, and I want to keep my word. But I also wanted to make sure I was able to get to that bag.
Absolutely. But
Yeah.
so when I got my associate's degree, I let the bag keep me from going into the career. And that's something that I refuse to do right now because like at my particular employer, I can move around, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of opportunities, when you're a state or federal worker. But if they offered me more money to do something that's not in my field, I wouldn't do it
Mm-mm.
because I
Mm-mm.
didn't go to school for this to be stuck in. I don't. My ultimate goal, I would rather work my butt off for a community, knowing that I'm helping people, than to make money at corporate and feel as if I'm nothing.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
No recognition, no reward. You just another
You
number.
just
You
getting
know
up
what
in
I'm
the
saying?
morning.
Yes.
Just getting up in the morning. I got tired of
Like
that.
why can't we have Saturday off? But up at all through the top, nobody's here on Saturday. You golfing, why can't? Why are
Yeah.
you forcing us to work on holidays? And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I always said that if I ever get to where I want to be, because there's a lot of things that I want to do. I don't want to put it all out right now because I don't want, all my ideas out
That's
there,
fine.
but people gonna love working for me. People gonna love working for me.
That's
And
fine.
I'm gonna make sure that they love working for me because, you know, bees like honey. They don't just like a lot of bull. You feel what I'm saying?
Okay. They gotta watch where
Okay.
they land.
Okay.
so if
So
you we so we right on track. And if you could tell somebody who, maybe they think it's too late to go back, or maybe I don't have the money, or something's holding them back. from going back and fulfilling their dreams? What would you tell that woman that's going through adversity?
Anybody going through adversity and being uncertain of where they want to be, the first thing I would let them know is that God didn't give us the spirit of fear. So, when you fear things, that's out of chaos. That's a deception. Those are all negative words. You have to revise your thinking. You know, the glass is always half full, it's never half empty. So if you have any type of feeling that you want to go, ask yourself what's really holding you back. What's really holding you back? Because sometimes we self sabotage.
Mm.
Sometimes we self sabotage. I want to go back, but the kids, they da da da. Okay, well, the kid, I did my homework when my son was asleep.
That's
Every
right.
night at like 9 o'clock, I got him to a point where he done ate, he's taking a shower, you know, and as long as he's taken care of, then he's not going to bother me. You know what I mean?
That's right.
So I would do my homework when he was playing his game. After I know he ate, he's already eaten, he's already showered, his homework is done. When the house is quiet, that's when I was up doing my homework.
And I would turn my phone off.
I would
Oh my
turn my
God.
phone off.
I turn my
Sometimes
phone
I
off.
would. Sometimes I would, but I eventually got to the point where I could leave my phone on because I was so focused. I wasn't concerned about what was going on my phone. I would look at my phone. I would see it ringing. I would see who was calling, and I would not answer the phone because right now this is more important to me. And that's what you have to decide. How long are you going to continue to settle for whatever it is that you're doing when you know that going to school can make it a little bit better?
Well, that's good advice. That is very good advice. And again, I thought that this we take this time today to show people that it can be done. You are living proof of that. Someone who, no matter what knocks you down, you get right back up and you push forward and you win. You have won. You're not finished because, of course, you got plans afterwards, and she'll probably be making announcements here and there. I can feel that, and she has not told me anything, but I just know who I'm dealing with. So,
Yeah, I got a
um,
couple of things. I got a couple of irons in the fire.
okay.
Yeah, I
So we
do.
look forward to it. And I would tell someone, if you're going back to school, make sure it's something that you want to do, right? Don't go to school. I remember going to school at first, business administration. That's where my degree is, right? And I said, I'm working out in the field. I'm outside in the field supervising. That's not what I went to school with. So I started my business. I mean,
That's right.
everybody, there's room for everybody,
It's
is what I'm
room
saying.
for
There's
everybody. It
room.
is. And you know what, too? I don't want to give people the impression that you have to sign up for college and pay 40 and 50 and $60,000. You can go to trade school. You can go online and look up free classes on how to code or, things of that nature. You don't actually have to go. Education is free. You just have to be willing to want to do the research for it. But it's absolutely free. Anybody can educate themselves in any area as
That's
long as
right.
you stay focused.
That's right. That's right. So, man, I appreciate you willing to open up to our viewers.
Thank you.
Again,
This
this
was
is
so
my wonderful,
good.
amazing co-host, Diavia. She is a poet.
Mm.
She know it, and she is. And now she has her master's degree. I look to see so much more from her. And she's joined me on Detroit Press Play. What more can we say?
Yay!
Yes, yes, yes. And anybody out there, if you want to do it, you want to talk to her, inbox, and she'll give you some guidance, some tools that will help you push through as well. Don't stop. If it's in your heart, keep going. Keep going.
Absolutely.
Man, our little hour have come to a close.
This was
Appreciate.
cool.
Yeah, it was. It was. And I'm
Yeah.
so glad you were relaxed through it, right?
Oh yes, absolutely.
But I kind of figured anyway. You know, you ain't no punk or nothing, so you know how you and I do. We'll sit up and be cracking up and be something so
Okay.
serious like they sit over in the corner laughing.
I
Yeah.
know, right?
Yeah, we see smiles and everything. That's who we are. Detroit Press Play. Always Lisa G. And
DIVA.
we out. And we thank you guys. If you have comments even after we're gone, please feel free to share. Share. We'll talk to you. Till next Tuesday. Peace.
Peace. Oh, we gotta do it. One, two, three.
Or what?
We,
Oh, there we go.
we
Let
got,
me get this
we gotta
wrong.
be over. We gotta. 1, 2, 3.
Detroit
Detroit
Press.
press play
Detroit Press Play all day.
all day.
All righty.